Howdy everybody, my name is Keith Warren, and today's Deer and Wildlife Stories comes to you from just east of Dallas, Texas. And we're at the Big Rack Ranch. As a deer hunter, I want to know all I can about America's favorite big game animal. That's why I became a deer farmer. Without deer farms, we lose our greatest resource for research and whitetail management. With them, we gain more knowledge than ever before. Join me as we discover the truth about whitetails and meet those who work every day to preserve this great species for future generations. My name is Keith Warren, and this is Deer and Wildlife Stories. When people wind up visiting a ranch, they form an opinion immediately on the deer. I mean, they look at them, oh, these are big wide deer, these are non-typical deer. And the opinion that you're going to get when you come here is these are beautiful, typical deer. And that's what happened the very first time I came here. I thought, man, these are pretty deer. And the second time I came here, man, these are pretty deer. And this time it's like, holy smokes. These are beautiful deer. And you got to keep in mind, they don't get beautiful by accident. It's all planned. You know, it amazes me that every time I come out here, I mean, the deer are so pretty. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at this. How old are these guys now?
Everybody in here is 3.
Okay, and everybody's got a pretty much clean, typical symmetrical look, except for that one with some flyers. What's the deal with him? Because that is not your normal style.
Right.
I mean,
he's got some character.
What's going on with him?
That's a witch doctor's son, and he was a really pretty, pretty clean 2-year-old, and I put him in here. This is most of these bucks in here are Dos Anjos sons. I wanted to kind of show his consistency when I was grouping these bucks to grow out together this summer. And he was one that was really fairly clean, typical, and so I just let him kind of stay in this pen as well. But he definitely put on some inches this year. I love his look. He's got the big typical frame with character, flyers and kickers that I love.
How wide do you think he is?
He's over 30 for sure.
Well, as I look at him, I'm going, okay, all these deer right here, did they grow out in this pen?
Yes, sir.
And so okay, so you put them in here last year then?
Last one, January, February, when we were taking the bucks off the does, we go ahead and sort all of our bucks together with how they're going to grow out for that next summer.
Okay, so strategically, why did you sort those bucks for this pen?
This one, I think there are 5 or 6 Dos Anjos sons in here, and I really, when I have people come out for ranch tours, I want them to see the consistency of Dos Anjos and what he produces, and you can see it on all his sons in here. There's a very consistent look.
What amazes me here is that you made this decision based upon what you thought was going to happen. And what you thought was going to happen, did it happen to your prediction?
Yes, sir, for sure. Minus the fact that he kind of overshadows a lot of the other bucks in here.
Okay, I want to point something out. He made the decision to put these bucks in here based upon his prediction of what they were going to look like at 3 years old. And so what we're going to do on today's show, we're going to talk to you about how John has been able to keep the consistent, beautiful, clean, typical look. Because I'll tell you something, every deer farmer in the country, every single one, when they found out I'm coming to your place, they said, he's got the prettiest deer in the industry. No, you do, and it's not an accident.
Thank you, that's great.
I look at them all here and I'm thinking, okay, it's like going to a beauty contest of big bucks. Okay, so tell me about some of these other guys out here.
Most of them are, like I said, Dos Anjos sons and over various crosses. Dos Anjos seem to work on any kind of doe line that I've bred them to, and so there's a real clean 6x6. They're all pretty clean, but there's a real pretty 6x6, and that's just Dos Anjos over Daguerreotyne. A beautiful Texas typical back in the day, and then there's another one that's a Dos Anjos on Witch Doctor.
All right, these are some gorgeous deer.
Thank you.
And I know you got some more, so you've got some more 3-year-olds?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go look at them.
All right.
Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by Record Rack Deer and Elk Feeds, UVC Power Sports, the North American Deer Farmers Association, Advanced Deer Genetics, New Dart, Divine Genetics, the North American Deer Registry, Protect the Harvest, Headgear LLC, Southwest Fabricators, High Roller Whitetails Big Buck Draft and Premier Deer Auction, and Dr. Ray Favero's Whitetail Genetics. Viewer feedback is presented by Protect the Harvest, Protect the Hunt. All right, this is off our Facebook page from a viewer by the name of Jack. He's from Minnesota. Says, I heard there's a live test that can be performed on deer that will detect CWD. Is this true? And if so, why isn't it being used? Jack, that's a great question. It is true, there is a live test for chronic wasting disease, and it's being used on thousands and thousands of animals in the state of Texas, very successfully. Why isn't it being used elsewhere? Because the other states just haven't accepted it yet, but we're pushing for that to happen. If you've got a question or a comment and you'd like to connect with me, go to our website and hit the Connect with Keith tab, or get a hold of me on Facebook or Instagram. I think he'd be worth that. Holy cow. Ooh-wee. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh man. I think which one I want you to tell me about first. Oh wow. I want to hear about the one with the flyer. Look at that deer there.
Right. We're actually breeding him this year. We call him off limit. I've got 2 no limit sons. No limit is another buck. It's in South Texas at J5 Ranch. Mm-hmm. And a lot like Dos Sancho is here, he is kind of proving himself as a big time producer down in South Texas. And so I've been breeding with him for years. I love his look, I love his pedigree. And so two of the bucks, the main one in here that we're talking about is off limit, and he's a no limit son. Mm-hmm. Back on Kid Dynamite on Monarch's sister.
Show me. I want to see this.
Yes. No. Right. So this software is GMS, and for me, it's such a huge marketing tool, and I like seeing the animals in there in the pedigree, but I also want to see visually kind of production. And if there's a doe that I've got, does she have a twin brother, wound brother, full brother, whatever it could be, what he looks like, and then on and on. And off limit is a great example of that. And if you go back to his grandmother, she's the sister of a famous buck in Texas called Monarch. Mm-hmm. She's still here at Big Rack Ranch, and we bred her to our buck, Kid Dynamite, that came from Gonzales Whitetails. And she created, and through that we had a buck and a doe born. This was the buck, what he turned into at 3 years old. Wow. This is his twin sister, mm-hmm. womb sister, and so she's still here at Big Rack Ranch, and bred her to No Limit, and that's what he looked like at 5 years old.
Well, the cool thing is, as far as a sales tool goes, when you have customers come out here and take a look at these deer, you can pull this program up and you can show them pictures. This is what it's all bred to. This is the bloodline.
That's right. That's exactly how I market. Anybody that's bought any deer from me will attest to this, because this is exactly what I send people when they're asking for, what do I have for sale as far as lists. Instead of sending someone just a list and telling them who it's out of, a sire dam, I send them these. I screenshot a pedigree and send it to them. And I want them to get comfortable with the predictability of that offspring, mm-hmm. what it's going to be. And
you mentioned J5 Ranch, and I want to mention that's where High Heat is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so talk about High Heat. I mean, this is a deer that the whole industry is talking about now, and John is actually involved with High Heat. So explain that to him.
Right, we're one of the partners. There's 4 partners on High Heat. High Heat is just a tremendous buck. It's a freeze frame son back on G Hammer on HR10, which is kind of the shining star of J5 Ranch, his premier doe down there. But we're partners. Heath Yower with J5 Ranch is the main owner. He's the one that bred High Heat, and that's where High Heat lives. We're also partners with Mossy Rock Whitetails and MVP Whitetails. There's 4 of us.
If somebody wants to come to Big Rack Ranch, tell them where you are and tell them the best time to come to take a look at deer like this.
Right, we're in Terrell, Texas, just about 45 minutes east of Dallas, Texas. And the best time to come is from middle June to the end of July is a wonderful time to come.
And right now we're at the end of August, and so these bucks are just about done growing. So if you want to come out here to Big Rack Ranch, give them a phone number.
214-890-0900.
And when you come, be prepared, because like I said, this is like a beauty contest of big bucks. These are some beautiful, beautiful deer. I'm telling you, you got it going on.
Thank you.
That system right there is
Right.
like your little magic wand. You
Right.
do it right there with that.
I love it.
Closed captioning for Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by G2 Ranch, where quality is our commitment.
Brought to you by American Fair Chase Hunting Club. Just shut up and hunt.
Hey y'all, I'm Timmy Edwin. I'm president of American Fair Chase Hunting Club. And I got me a brand new pair of these fine binoculars right here. Boy, I'll tell you what, you can see everywhere around the, holy smoke.
What
was
you
that?
got there?
Oh, this is the brand new Acme Can't Hide binocular system. You can put them up like that and you can see all the way across the countryside. You press that button right there, you see all the way to China.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that sounds pretty cool. I know that hunters all over the world want a pair of binoculars they can see everything. And
That's
I'm
right.
just wondering, do you think that that's fair chase?
I don't know, Keith. What is fair chase?
I don't know. But I know that you're the president of the American Fair Chase Hunting Club, and if anybody would know, you'd know.
Well, I guess I never thought about it.
Well, you ought to maybe think about it until you figure it out. What I'd do if I was you is just shut up and hunt.
Shut up and hunt. I like it. I want to go hunt.
Good luck. And folks, if you want to know what fair chase hunting is, until you figure it out, use the hashtag on social media, just shut up and hunt. And I'd like to hear from you.
What is your definition of fair chase hunting? Let us know using the hashtag #JustShutUpAndHunt.
Wow. Okay, so let me guess. Look at that guy right there. That big, framey look. 3-year-old?
Yes, sir. Everything in here is 3.
Dos Sancho?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna guess. I mean,
Yeah.
take a look at him. What a pretty buck. So,
Really pretty.
yeah. And then what gets me is, you know, we just showed you a pen of deer earlier that had Dos Sancho bucks in it. And it's that predictability, that look, that you can just look at that deer and say, he's got to be a Dos Sancho.
Right. He looks just like Dos Sancho did as a 3-year-old. And what's cool, his mother is a daughter of dream bucks, so a totally different line than the other bucks we saw in the first pen we went to. So it's been fun to see him crossed on so many different. Every line of does that we've put him on has produced a very consistent look.
And Dos Sancho is still alive here. I mean,
Yes, sir.
this is the 3rd Deer and Wildlife Story show that we've done here. And what we'll wind up doing, we'll cut away and show you a shot of Dos Sancho when he was in his heyday. I mean, it was in his prime. He was 272 inches, but right now he's 10 years old. He's still here. You still got semen on him, so if somebody wants some semen, you can get a hold of John for that. But I look at this other big buck in here. Who is he out of?
He's a double down son. He's a 3-year-old, and both of those bucks will be going to ranches to breed. Both of them have been sold to be breeders.
You know, as I look at your deer, and I mean, you really do have a reputation throughout the industry as having the prettiest, most consistent, pretty, typical bucks out there. You know, I look at it, I think, you know, there's a lot of guys that have inches. I mean, a lot of bigger deer with inches, okay? But they don't have as pretty a look. And so there's a lot of people that have ranches that they want the look. That's what they're looking for.
Right.
So if you're interested in the look on your deer, whether you're looking for something in breeder pen or on the ranch, give them a phone number, contact information.
Sure. Office number is 214-890-0900. Website is bigrackranchwhitetails.com.
All right, so right now, what I'd like you to do, I know you've got a 2-year-old. You've been kind of hiding him, is the way I look at it. I mean, this 2-year-old, y'all aren't going to believe what he looks like. Let's go see him right now.
Let's do it. All right.
Wow. Holy moly. And blue tags, I guess, represent nothing but 2-year-olds, huh?
Yes, sir. Everything's 2 in here.
Wow. Golly, look at this guy right here. He's pretty. Oh, man. Who's that guy with the flyer? Is that the one?
It's a Dos Sancho son.
Come on.
Yep.
Okay,
Really
we've been
excited.
consistently talking about Dos Sancho, Dos Sancho, Dos Sancho, and take a look. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Beautiful buck. I love him. I'm real excited about him. I'm going to let him cover some does this year, and then we'll see what he does next year. I think he's going to be beautiful. But there's a few in here. There's in front of him that's overnight express son
Wow.
that I'm excited about.
Yep.
There's another buck in here that's triple crown on Super Dandy's mom that I can't wait to see what he does. And there's a couple of Ace of Blades, one of our breeders, a couple of his sons in here that I think next year is going to be a real fun pen to watch.
You know, the jump on these deer between 2 and 3 is incredible.
Right.
And so it's for that reason that if somebody was to come out here and take a look at these 2-year-olds, and especially this one right here, and you say, okay, would you sell him? Address that. How would you price that, and the reason why?
I mean, it'd be hard to price them just knowing what these bucks do. They might jump 50, 60 inches between age 2 and age 3. And for me, you know, selfishly speaking, I like to see the production of, if it's out of one of our bucks like Dos Sancho, I know what they're going to do, you know, barring illness and other factors that I can't control. But you know, he's going to make a huge jump. He's already big and pretty right now, and I think he's just going to, you know, be that much more next year. So,
well, you know, you've got so many beautiful deer out here. It's really tough for us to show them and fit them all into one show. But I look, and these are 2-year-olds now. Okay, well, it was 2 years ago. We were in that pen right there, and you had a gorgeous 2-year-old that we just loved, yellow something rather, 10?
4110.
4110,
Yep.
Okay. Now, whatever happened to him?
Well, he got a name that year. I call him Sitting Pretty.
Really?
Yes, sir, and he's a Kid Dynamite son, and he's still here and still breeding.
Well, let's go see Sitting
Let's
Pretty.
do it.
I mean, we like I said, we got a lot of deer to show and not a lot of time. Let's go see Sitting Pretty.
Okay, let's do it.
If you're ready to get started in deer farming, go to deerandwildlifestories.com and click the Get Started Deer Farming tab. All right, predictability is where it is at as far as deer breeding goes, and you know, John uses a lot of different tools to do it, but also he is experienced enough to know that when he has a pretty 2-year-old, odds are it's going to be a real pretty 3-year-old and pretty 4-year-old and so on. So what we're going to show you now is a buck that 2 years ago when I was here, we're going to show you some video of that deer back then. And he was a beautiful 2-year-old, as you can see. I mean, he's just simply beautiful. And John said back then, I bet he's going to grow up into somebody special. And there he is. So tell everybody about it.
So that was a couple years ago. It was yellow tagged 4110, and now he's known as Sitting Pretty. There's 3 bucks in this pen. There's Ace of Blades, who's a 7-year-old, and Sitting Pretty and Clutch is another buck. They're both Kid Dynamite sons.
Okay, well that Sitting Pretty is, I mean, he's awesome, I think. So 2 years ago, we looked at him, I thought, man, he is gonna be somebody, but now he is somebody, and he's making a name for himself. But in this pen, back 2 years ago, we were filming a buck, and I used him to breed this last year on my place, Super Dandy.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yep.
And Super Dandy, and I'm gonna show you some video right now of Super Dandy. Super Dandy was unreal. And as you look at that video, you'll know that's the reason why I used it on my place, because I love that pretty, clean, typical look, and his pedigree. Can we go see Super Dandy right now?
You bet. He's 6, he's still here, and
all right, let's go see him.
great.
Man, he's pretty,
Yeah.
pretty. All right, so that's Super Dandy right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, before we show you what Super Dandy looks like, and how old is he now?
He's 6 years old this year.
Holy smokes. I want to show you what this buck right here looked like at 4 years old. Okay, that is Super Dandy. And at 4 years old, he had what, 15, 16 inch 2s and 3s?
Four tines over 16 inches.
Holy smokes. And so it's for that reason that I wound up breeding with him on my place this year. I mean, he's an unbelievable deer, and look at him now at 6 years old.
He's still doing it. He's adding a little more character every year. He started putting the drop tines on last year, and this year he's added a couple more. I love his look, and he's doing a great job here.
See, he wound up, he has narrowed up a little bit from what he was last year, hasn't he?
He's probably a couple inches more narrow than he was last year.
Yeah, but he's still got the look. I mean, the
He
frame,
does.
and as far as the pedigree, tell everybody pedigree on him.
So he's a Shadow son, and his mother is Monarch on Yankee Doodle Dandy. So just classic Robert Williams. Monarch, you know, it combines the 2 best Robert Williams does he had, Red 55 and Yankee Doodle Dandy.
I'm gonna tell y'all something about this guy right here. Okay, as we're doing this show, you'll hear him start talking about people, Mossy Rock or Robert Williams or Heath Jower. You hear him talking about other people. These are friends. First off, but they're really kind of competitors in another way.
Sure.
And so the cool thing about the deer industry is that our competitors are our friends, and when you start doing business with them, they become more and more of a friend, and it's a trust issue, just like with any customer. And so what gets me is the fact that we don't go to a deer farm one that mentions their competitors or their friends as much as you. I want you to know that. And I think that's a testament to your character, because when you start, you give everybody else the credit. And I think I give you the credit, because the deer that we have shown y'all on today's show, they're no accident at all. I mean, the beauty, the magnificent look that these deer have, it's no accident. This is all premeditated, all planned, and it is a plan coming together right here at Big Rack Ranch. And I got to hand it to you, John. You've done one unbelievable job. So if somebody wants more information about Big Rack Ranch and to come out here, again, this is out of Terrell, Texas, so just east of Dallas, about 100 miles or so. How do they get a hold of you?
Office number is 214-890-0900, or the website's bigrackranchwhitetails.com.
And when you come out here, like I said at the beginning, I believe I said this is going to be like a beauty contest of big deer. It really is a beauty contest of big deer and great people. So y'all get a hold of John. My name is Keith Warren, and thanks for watching Deer and Wildlife Stories.